The Linguaphone Group has been a premium educational provider for about 120 years now. We first started trading in, I think it was 1900, and we've been in the educational business all that time ever since. If you look at the early phase of our business, the focus was very much on foreign language training, so languages like French, Spanish, all of the modern non-English languages, and that was going to be offered into the UK and some other English-speaking countries. The second phase in our development was when we focused on teaching English primarily to young adults. And that teaching program was delivered on a self-study basis. So the Linguaphone Group at that time were pioneers in the use of, say, audio devices, but the overall teaching program was very much focused on self-study. Then around 20 years ago, the Linguaphone Group acquired a blended learning brand called Direct English. That represented a step into the actual physical face-to-face teaching business. And so we've been teaching that brand now for over 20 years. And then based on market feedback, around 15 years ago, we made a major step into children's English. So for the last 15 years, we've been teaching children's English through the Pingu's English brand, and that's what we're celebrating the anniversary of today. Well, personally, I joined the consumer English language teaching division of Pearson Education about 25 years ago. Pearson Education was a business that grew out of Addison Wesley Longman, and that's probably the world's largest educational publisher. I joined them, as I said, about 25 years ago. I was a sales manager, and I was very much focusing on market entry strategies. About 5 years later, I decided to leave the world of mega publishing and join the Linguaphone Group. And I joined Linguaphone as Sales and Marketing Director, and there I was again leading on market entry strategies, but also working with some of the existing partners, looking to help them grow their brands and grow their businesses. After only about 3 years of that, I was invited to step up and become the Chief Operating Officer. That added certain responsibilities in terms of areas like product development to my remit, which I enjoyed thoroughly. And then for the last 13 years, I've been serving the company in the capacity of CEO. So for 13 years, I've been the CEO of the Linguaphone Group, and helping introduce and incubate businesses like Pingu's English into our group of companies. I think it really grew out of demand from families, which filtered through our partners. And there was, I just think, a growing demand from families from, if you like, a progressively younger and younger age for premium English language teaching. We got to a stage quite rapidly where families were not content with, if you like, simple holiday level English, and they wanted a level of competency that was really going to equip them in their formal elementary school education. And that demand just trickled through to us. I think as a company, we realized early on that this was quite different from our normal business of teaching adults. With our adult brands, you have one customer, generally speaking. the customer is the person who will study. But with the early years business, we realized straight away you would have two customers. You would have the parent, who would be the buyer, and you would have the young child, who would be the student. And they have quite different needs. So it was clear to us that we couldn't just stretch one of our adult brands and businesses, and that we had to come up with a format that would look after the needs of both the parent and the child. And for that reason, we wanted a character set and animation with proven child appeal. And that's when we started our research and we came up with Pingu. But we also wanted to develop a curriculum that would respond to the unique needs of very young learners. And for that reason, we then put together a product development team, including people like yourself, and that product development team would help bring the animation and the character set to life and make it relevant for the educational marketplace. And that was really how we went about developing the idea and bringing it to market 15 plus years ago. Well, I think there's three main reasons. I think the first reason is the character set and animation we have got real proven child appeal, and they really stimulate and entertain children the world over. I've attended exhibitions in countries as physically remote as, say, Mexico and Japan, and in all occasions you end up with children just sat around on the floor watching our video. So I think the core material and animation really motivates and stimulates the children. I think the second reason is at the core of the learning system, we have this play-based methodology. And for very young kids, play is not trivial. Play is how they learn. And of course, within Pingu's English, it's not random, disorganized play. We have, highly structured play, but absolutely that play is designed to both, motivate and stimulate the children, but also guide them to prescribed outcomes at various milestones in the course. So I think the play-based methodologies played a massive role. I think the third and final reason we've been so successful is that we really aim at stimulating the child's confidence in the English language. And we take that to quite an extreme extent. We're far more concerned with what a child can do with the English language than in terms of what they know in, let's say, an academic vacuum. So we absolutely put a real emphasis on the children's confidence in the language. And I think parents can tend to see that outcome at a very early stage. I think those three reasons have really contributed to the success of our English language teaching program.